My name is Kartik Raj, and I'm 26 years old, and I'm from Udaipur, and I'm from belongs from Rajput families. It's called like warrior clan. So I belong from a Rajput family. So it's like I live in a fort near Udaipur, and I live with my whole family. So many cousins, so many brothers, sisters, cousin brothers, and I live around 18 years with my family. Then after I need to move because of my higher education. I need to move from my hometown to different city. There are so many things value struggles in India, because if you belong from a tribal families, or if you belong from a poor families, you don't have anything, any privileged things for you. You don't have anything, you don't get any food, you don't get any life, you don't get any entertainment things in your life if you belong from a poor families. And if you are from richer families, you can buy anything in India, you can hire anything in India, you can get higher education, you can get higher entertainment, high facilities, which you can't compare in India. It's just for higher peoples. I seen so many people from poor families struggling for so many things, about their life, about their land, about their food, about the laws, right? Because they don't have any education. 99% population in India, like in women's, and are illiterate. All the 90% women are illiterate, so they don't know about their rules, about their laws, which are like followed by the government, right? So they, if their husband are beating them, or like if they are like doing any wrong ways in their houses, they don't have any educations about the laws which are made by the governments for them. So there are so many things which all the peoples in India, or the poor peoples in India, is struggling for their life, and they don't know anything about how to do it. Caste system is not like 100 years old or like 200 years old. It started like in 700 BC. So many years old, like thousands of years old. When Aryan comes to India, and they separate the peoples in according to their work. According to people, the work they are doing, they divide the peoples according to their work. So the people who speak the language of the god, they totally believe in the god. They divide the peoples into Brahmins community. The peoples who work as a merchant, who travels from here and there for the trade and everything, they divide the peoples into Vaishyas. So according to that, there are so many different castes are there, so, and which we can divide like in four categories. One is Brahmins, second is Kshatriyas, the warriors who can fight for their regions. Third is the Vaishyas, who can travel, who are the merchants. Totally maximum are the merchants. And Shudras are the blue collar job persons, who are like mostly are the farmers or like the servants. And there is one more caste which doesn't belong to any caste system in India, is untouchables. The persons who do the dirty jobs, the ladies who do the prostitutions, and they don't belongs to the any caste system, they comes in the untouchables. My personal opinion, I totally believe in caste system about the culture, on the culture point, right? If uh, because each and every caste has some different customs and cultures which they follow. Some traditions are theirs. So I totally believe in the traditions and culture, because if any persons, India is famous about their culture, right? They are not famous about their caste system. So I totally believe in the culture, what they follow, what the traditions they follow, like so much believe in god. Like they believe in like 33 million gods. They believe in food, there is a god. They believe in tree, there is a god. They believe in each and every stone, there is a god. So I totally believe in the culture of India, but I don't believe in like dividing the peoples according to their caste, according to their work. I don't totally believe in that. I totally disagree with the caste system, with the practices they are doing in the caste system. According to Indian mythology, and if you see the background of like Indian mythology, Brahmins are the persons who are most learned persons, who can speak the language of the god, and who can speak and who can teach peoples, right? Who are the priests, who are the teachers, so they know everything, how to mold things. These are the persons who can know everything about the peoples, about the life, right? So they are most learned persons, and they can, if you are educated person, you can do anything, whatever you want. So they got money, they got life, they got standard of living, they got status status of life, and till now also they are getting higher education and higher status of living in India. But if you compare with the tribals, the Dalit families, 700 years back also they don't have any education, and right now they are enforcing for the education. Right now they are government is doing so many things for the education. So till now also, like after 700 years, or like 700 years, they are not getting the proper education, so they are not getting the same status of level living as compared to the Brahmins. Arranged marriage is what, when you don't have any right to say something, that whom you love, or what you prefer, what type of girl or what type of boy you like. It totally depends on what your parents deciding. It totally depends what your parents are saying, you have to follow it. You have to you don't have any choices, that what you prefer. This is just totally believe on like what your parents are deciding, you have to do it. It's just because in India, if you're doing arranged marriage, your family will support you all the time. They are with you, right? And if you're going for the love marriage, no will support you, because we follow the caste system, we follow the sub clans, we follow the bloodlines also. So if you go for love marriage and if you find a girl in different caste, nobody will support you, and they throw you out from the communities, so you are not allowed in community functions. And if you after 5 years or after 6 years you blessed with a boy or a girl, you don't have any right to the boy or the girl, they don't have any right to get married in your caste, or they don't have any right to get married in the girl's caste. So the future of that boy or girl of your baby is in danger, right? So nobody wants to do it. Like most of the people don't do allow marriage. Most of the people do agree on the arranged marriages, because at least like anything happens after 5 years or 10 years in your marriage life, your family is there, your family will support you, and they find other girl or other boy for you. That's why it's totally common in India to go for arranged marriages. I belongs from the my father and mother is educated peoples, and I also believes in enjoying my life. So they allow me to go forward for higher educations, and I went for my higher education, and in my college I found a girl. I saw her first time, and I fall in love with her, and I decided that this is the girl whom I'm going to marry. And I talked to my friends. I talked to my friends, who is she? So they said like she belongs from your same caste, but she is not like who believes in like girlfriend and boyfriend relationship. So you better don't go and talk to her. Then I said I don't know anything. I just heard number and I want to talk to her. So I got the number. I texted her and I like explained everything about my life and like what I am and how much I like her on the first day itself. So she said like everything is fine. We can become a friend, but we won't be able to like make as a relation as a girlfriend and boyfriend. Then I said okay, that's fine, but at least you can become my as a friend. So it takes me 6 months to convert her as a from friend to girlfriend. But after 6 months we both start loving each others. But like she said like we don't make sure like don't fall in love with me like as like you want to get married, right? Because my parents are finding some boy for me, and maybe it happens like on the last moment I'm going to get married to other persons, so don't fall in love with me. But I decided like I want to get married to this girl only, until last breath of my life I'm going to get love this girl. So I did. It takes like 5 years. She's on the day when I made I met with that girl. She's saying like I'm going to get married, but it takes 5 years for his parents to find a boy, and finally they found a boy, and she went to see her, and she called me that I'm going to see that boy. So I said like okay, you can go, but you know what you want to do now, because you better understand what's my condition, what's your condition. She said yeah, I understand. She went there, and I keep calling her for like 100 times on that day, but she didn't pick up my phone. On the next day I go again for again calling and calling, and she pick up the phone and she said I'm engaged now. Then I said, you didn't talk to me for a second and you just take decisions. He said, like, it's not my decision, it's my parents' decision. The person, he's working in Australia and he's having a good job and everything. He settled job and everything. So he finally decided to get married to her and say goodbye to me in just a second. And she leave me and she went back. So I disappointed at that time, and I said, okay, that's fine. But like I for 5 years, I do lots of things for her, for to get her to make us a courage to go and talk to her parents, but she don't have any courage to go and get talk to her parents. Right now she is married, and she's right now she is happy, but like sometimes she called me and said like, oh, I'm not happy. I have everything in my life about about money, about family and everything, but I don't have the love which you have given me in 5 years. So this is what a love marriage, or you can say arranged marriage, difference between an arranged marriage and a loving person in love. According to me, love is unconditional, right? She told me on the first day that on when we start meeting, when we start talking to each other, she told me on the first day that I'm not going to get married to you because my family is finding something. So at that time, if my love is conditional, right? If I want something from her, so I refuse that. Okay, that's fine. You can leave me, and I can go for other one. But my love is unconditional, and I want to do something for her. I want to spend some life, some years, right? Whether it's like a 6 months, after 6 months she got married, it's fine for me. But it takes 5 years, so at least I live my life, my whole life in that 5 years. So my love is unconditional. That's why I experienced my whole life with her in 5 years. So I don't have any expectations from her right now that whether she got married to other person, because I live my life with her for 5 years. For 5 years, I enjoy my life, my whole life with 5 years, and I'm happy with it. I've done lots of things in 5 years to encourage her about to tell her parents to get married to me. I told her everything, that after 5 years, after 10 years of your marriage, to get married to other person, and after 5 years or 10 years you come back to me. And you said like I'm not getting what I want, right? I told her so many times. And I don't want to expect her like she can come back to me and said like, oh, I'm not happy, because it hurts me also. Because if she's not getting a love and affection from his husband, and so it hurts me also, because she is not happy now. But like she come back just after 1 year, and she said like, oh, I'm not happy. So it affects me also, right? I wait for her for 1 year after his marriage, that she can come back, but she didn't come back at that time. And right now I'm engaged, so I don't have any choices to go back and to take her back. So it hurts me also, like, but I don't have any choices now. I cannot do anything now. My fiance belongs from a small community, and she is like, she lives in the village, so she don't have any knowledge about the girlfriend and boyfriend relationships. She don't know anything about love marriages and everything. She belongs from a small community. So but like, when I'm going to get engaged with her, when my family went there to see her, on that time I just called my parents and my family to talk to that girl which I'm going to get engaged or something. So I talk to her, and I share my each and everything of my life, that what I do, where I work, what's my experience, what's my hobbies, what about my whole love life, about my 5 years experience and everything. And afterwards she said like, you explain everything about me, about your life. So she don't have any problem with that, because in India, all the girls have, they have only problem with the boys when they are in physically attached with any other girl. Otherwise they don't have any problem. If you have any relation with any other girl as a friend, and you don't have any physical relationship with them, so no girls have any problem with that. And I don't have any physical relationship with my ex. So that's why my fiance don't have any problem with me right now. She don't have any problem with my past relationship, because each and every person in India or any part of world, they have some relations with any girl or boy. See, in my condition also, in my life also, I found a girl who belongs from the same caste, right? It doesn't mean that, you if you want to love someone, you can go in other caste, right? You can find a girl in your caste also. So I can give them life, that like I can give them education. You can explore your life, you can go whatever you want, you can have in relation with any person, you can have boyfriend, girlfriend, enjoy your life. But find a right boy or right girl, right? Because in India, it's not about you and your wife, or it's not about you and your girlfriend, right? It's about whole family. We have to think about whole family. If my child wants to go and get married to any other girl from different community, that's fine. But they have to make commitment that they are going to follow their marriage for whole life. They have to commit on the first day, on the marriage day, that they are going to commit, that they are going for like whole life. Because in love marriages, people fall in love for 2 years or 3 years, and afterwards what they think is, we are not making it. right? We want divorce. So if you're going to do it in love marriages, your whole family is destroyed and your whole life is destroyed, right? And if my child, whether she's a girl or whether he's a boy, if they find a girl in different community or find a boy in different community, right? And like they want to love each other and they want to get married, it's fine for me, it's fine for me, but like they have to commit me on the first day that we are not living with each other after 5 years or 10. We never fight with each other, and we leave we continue this relation for my whole life. Then I'm okay with it. Otherwise, they need to find a girl, I can find them a girl or boy in our community, right? Because I have to think my family, my parents also, my grandfather also, my because we follow some clans and everything, bloodlines, so we have to think about it. Uh, Love don't create in a one day, right? The feelings don't create in one day or like in 5 days, right? It happens all, it happens anytime, right? So for now I explain my fiance everything, like about my love life, about my ex and everything. But I like the personality, I like the personality of my fiance, but I don't love her. Because love and liking the personality is totally different. I love my ex, but I don't love my fiance. I like her personality, what she do, about his nature and everything, but I don't love her, and she knows everything about it. For my ex, I'm with her for like my whole life. I can do whatever she wants for whole life. I cannot give my life now to her, like as a personality. Like I cannot leave my fiance and go get married to my ex, but like I can help her as a friend to whole life. And my fiance, I'm going to do whatever she wants, like to make her happy. But for like to make her happy, but I don't love her, right? So I can do something to make her happy. I cannot like tell her to like that I'm not liking you and you are not, I don't love you. But like I do whatever she wants, whatever she likes. It happens a lot. This is not a single story you're seeing in India. There are so many people fall in love with someone, and suddenly it happens that their families don't agree on it. They don't believe in like in love culture and anything, and they have to move forward. They have to like separate from each others, and they have to go for it. So if my family is strict, if my family is not educated and my family is also strict, and if some point of time I have to take decisions, maybe I go for my families. I don't want to take decision right like that, and maybe I can go forward with my family decided. It totally depend on the families, how they feel, how they react. For my family supports from the first day. I talk to my mom, I'm very close to my mom, and like talked to my mom and I said everything about my life and about my girlfriend. So my family is okay with it. My family said, okay, that's fine. She's a nice, beautiful girl. She's okay. She's educated girl and everything. So my family is okay with it for everything. But like she don't have any courage. She don't have anything to talk to their parents, because maybe there are some relations in India where you cannot think about and you cannot say each and everything to your parents, right? So it totally depends on the families and how you treat your parents and how you treat your childs. It's totally depend on them. My family is totally open, so I talk to them freely about each and everything in my life. But for her family is to maybe some differences between the parents and the child. That's why she is afraid to talk to their parents. Maybe they beat them. They maybe they kill her. So that's why she didn't talk to her. And it happens in the families, in so many families in India. People love each other, but they don't have any courage to talk to their parents, and they got married to other persons, and they whole life they're thinking about like, why didn't we talk to my parents, why we got married to other persons. So it happens. Yeah, it's tough. If you have taken the decision, go for it, and you can spend your life whole life. I'm there with you. If you are in a problem, I'm there for you for my whole life. I'll take it for you. I know Me2We when they Me2We, or you say We Charity, because We Charity started working in 2009 in India, and on that time I know We Charity what they are doing. So they are working near Udaipur. There is one community where they are working. They start working there, and one of my friend lives in that community, in that village. So I visited there, and I saw they are working on schools. So I talked to my friend that what they are doing, why they are making new buildings. So they are saying like there's one organization from outside India, and they're working so hard. They're encouraging each and every families to send their kids in their schools, and they love it. They start loving it, loving the communities, because they are making relations with the communities. They are making a bond with the communities, and then they are working in the communities. So from and they done a pretty much good work in this in that community. So from that time I knows about, like, from last 8 years I know about this about Me Too and about We Charity. uh, After this I met Ricky. Ricky is working with the communities also, with the organization from last 8 years. So I met Ricky, and he also explains me about their work culture and everything. At that time I'm working like as a part-time jobs, and like I'm studying also. And afterwards, like, I've completed my graduations, my MBA and everything. And after completing my MBA, I got a job in a retail sector. So I'm working there from like 6 months or 7 months. And our Asia director from in India Asia director, he comes and visit my stores every day. His name is Lloyd Hanuman. He comes to visit every day. And I start getting like familiar with him, like talk to him. Like, he also explain about his work culture, and I also talk to him about my work culture, like about how like 17 hours I need to work, and like how the struggle in my life and everything. So he says, what's your future plan? I said, like, I don't know. Maybe I leave this job, and I because I'm frustrated with my job, and maybe if I work here for more years, maybe I need to go and take blood pressure tablets and everything, and maybe I got a heart attack sometime. He said, okay, that's fine. So one day Ricky called me, and Ricky said, like, what about your future? What you want to do? Then I said, I don't know anything what I'm going to do now. Then he said, can you are you able to work with us? Are you want to work with us? Then I said, yeah, I'm trying from last 8 years. I'm telling to you that from last year that I'm happy to work with you. Then he said, okay, you have to go for an interview with Lloyd, and maybe he'll select you. Then I said, okay, that's fine. Lloyd taken an interview, and he said, yeah, you are most welcome in our organization. You can start working with us. Then I said, like, that's okay, I can work with you, but sir, I don't know anything about English. In India, people are not aware about the blood donations. And in India, like 60% of population is illiterate, so they don't donate blood. They think like, if we give blood, we will die anytime. So they don't believe in blood donations. So I started a campaign with my friends and my family. So like in 300 people in a group, we donate a blood in each and every 3 months. We go in 3 months and donate bloods. So I'm giving blood from last 4 years. As soon as, like, I'm in second year, I think. So I'm in doing my graduation, and I'm in second year. So from last 4 years I'm doing and giving blood donations for like each and every 3 months to any person from tribals. So that's what I'm doing for change. About Me Too is because, like, in our organization, like, it's totally depend on the culture of like Canadian, because it's a Canadian company, right? So here here you have the power. You can speak in front of anyone anytime, right? In our organization, everybody is equal. So you don't have to worry about what your boss is thinking about. You don't have to worry about your superior boss to boss is what they're thinking about. If you're giving a right answer, if you have the quality of answers, you can give at any time, and they'll support you anytime. And the work culture, I'm totally happy with the work culture and work environment of these organizations, right? I worked in different companies also in retail sectors in India. The work culture of different companies in India is worse, but like in this company, I love the work culture. They'll support you each and every time in any part of in any part of your life. In my family there is some situations happens in my family also. My family uh, is in bad condition, but like, I'm totally thanking to my staff here in V Charity in India. They support me a lot. My boss, my super boss, my colleagues, Ricky, everyone support me a lot. So I love it. I love my organization. let's see, I don't know, I don't expect things from anyone, so let's see what happens in 10 years. But like now, now I'm working with me2we, and I want to continue and grow more in me2we, so everybody in, not in India, and everybody in whole world know me, that there's one more person in India who can do this hands in India, so I can make some more hands, and I can do something more about me2we and about my life and about my nation. What do you say, a person who can speak on love topics, who can, yeah, yeah, love guru, maybe, yeah, maybe I can become a love guru, or make, maybe I can person become a person, if any person, any two persons, any couple getting a divorce, so I can do their counseling and make them something happen, so they can again fall in love with each others. So maybe I want to, I become a lawyer then, who is not involved in getting divorced to any people, but like making their life back. This hand means, there's some meeting going on in India office, and one person is justifying his points. So there's one person sitting next to him. He just move his hands, and so suddenly, like, the meeting is over afterwards, and the person comes to the person. His name is Ricky. He said, why Ricky? Why you moving hands when I'm suggesting something? He said, like, I don't want to interfere you. I don't want to interrupt you in your suggestions, because you are doing something right. So that's why I just move my hands, that I'm supporting you. Afterwards, he took this hands to India, to from India to Canada, and it's famous in whole organization. So anybody who supports We Charity, or any like, me2we, any persons who comes in me2we trips or Free the Children trips, they knows about Ricky Hands. So that's why I'm doing Ricky Hands right now. But after 10 years, maybe you see something else from Kartik's hand. Work hard, enjoy your life, love somebody, which like, love someone which you want to love, right? Don't care of anything, don't uh, justify yourself, right? If you want to love someone, go for it, straightforward, go for it. To tell her on the first that, I love you, and I want to, like, straight away, like, I want to carry this relationship for my whole life. Don't be for, like, don't go for the attractions, like, and keep changing on the girls and like boys. Go for, like, the what do you say, a true love. Go for true love. Spend your life with one girl or one boy for whole life. Spend your life and be happy.
My name is Yuvraj, and I am from Rajasthan, Udaipur, Rajasthan, and I am a Kshatriya by caste. Well, I feel privileged to be born in India, and from the family I come from, they have supported me a lot. What I always wanted to do, they were like always supporting me. So it's good. Especially basic challenges were, since I was not very good at studies and all. So so I had a very hard time with my studies, education, all, and since I was a cricket player, so I had to give a lot of time over there. Since we are like born, and we start taking care of things around us, so we always have to take care of our families and be sure about that whatever you do, it doesn't hampers their own reputation and all. So you have to be very careful about what you do and how you do it. This is what it is. And if this is the basic struggle, so there are people, a lot of people who wanted to do something, but then they're not able to do it, just because their family might get, their emotions might get hurt because of that. So that is the major challenge, I think. And the benefits are, since you live with your family all throughout your life, and they are always there to support you, so there's enough of emotional and moral support. I have also experienced some struggles in my life, as I wanted to do something in my life that I could not do, just because I had to do other things. I had to do things that my parents wanted me to do, my family wanted me to do. I would like to let you know that caste system was basically not meant to judge people according to their deeds or jobs, whatever they used to do. But then it has been gotten like worse over the period of the time. So there are people who judge other people about their human behavior according to the kind of job they do. And I think there are people, these people are like experts on it. There are people like who are meant to be businessmen, and they are still businessmen and they're good at it. There are service providers who are providing us services from a very long time, and none other can provide that kind of services that they are doing. I know people who have been doing the same deed from hundreds of years, and they're doing it nice enough. They're not other people to do that. So it's better not to judge them as they're like human behaviors. Like if they are making you something, if it is a product or something, so just you should be like feel privileged that there are people who are doing it, since you also need people to manufacture their own goods in their own country. Yep, I think everyone should be treated equally, even if it doesn't matter what their caste is, doesn't matter what kind of job they do, because caste system is more about the kind of deeds they do. You see, there are people who we call Brahmins, who are like a higher level of people, and they are considered at the topmost level of the caste system because they were teachers. They used to talk about God. They were priests, saints, and all. And there are another lower quality of caste which are like we call them, like a lot of people in India, they call them untouchables. They don't touch them because um, they does all the dirty deeds, kind of what you can say. Yeah, cleaning toilets and all. If they won't do it, then you will have to do it by yourself. So that's what they have been doing. So this is, I think that the same thing I said in my last answer, that they should not be judged about the and judged and treated as well according to the kind of work they do. They should be treated as human beings. Well, if you're a Brahmin, then wherever you would go, you are always be offered with food, water, a higher chair in the society, and a lot of respect. There are people in Hinduism community and all. They'll touch your feet to just get some blessings, and no matter what they are willing to do, if they start any function or any their business or whatever, so beginning there is this Brahman who will be called upon, and then he does all the like purification and holy kind of things and other rituals, and they're like treated very nicely everywhere. But then in if you are Dalit or untouchable or someone in the lower caste, then you won't be able to achieve that kind of respect. You won't be able to enter in their houses, people from higher castes and all, and you will not be able to touch their things. You are not allowed to do that, touch their water or their utensils or anything that they use on their daily purpose. It has been into the culture since the beginning that each and every parents want to look for the partners of their children, just to be sure that the person they find is worthy of their child, and also they belong from the same caste. Just to be casteism is important in marriages because um, there's a whole community wherein you have to go in all the social gatherings and all, you have to maintain your own respect as well. So if you get your son or daughter married to someone same in your caste, then you get that kind of importance, otherwise not. Yes, because I was so confident and I knew that this will somehow happen, because I believed in one thing, that whatever you actually want, you always achieve it. So this is something I actually wanted, and her as well. So it was actually very hard to convince in the beginning to my parents and all, but then it certainly happened, and I'm happy with the decision I made. Yeah. Well, we were very young. I was like 12 or 13 years old. Well, I think it's their own personal decision, their own personal life. You let them live their own life. It's their decision somehow. They want to be happy. Because even while following cultures and rituals, even parents should understand that they might commit such kind of mistake which can even hamper their whole life ahead. So there is just a little bad memory which keeps on striking you over and over again. So whatever you want to do, and if there is something like that, which is like backfiring on you, you're not able to put your 100% in your things. So I think people who want to choose their own partner, or doesn't matter if they do love marriage or arranged marriage, they should be just happy. So that's what I think. I'll definitely see what they're happy with. I'll let them live their own life. If in case they fail to do so, I'll definitely help them. Yeah, there was a friend of mine who asked me out for the interview. That let's go meet some people. That's what they do, and I'm very interested in doing these kind of jobs because I have been doing it since a very long time with other organizations, not with me to be. So since this was the part of my interest, so I just went over there and spoke to them, and I was chosen. After I went for the interview, I also researched a bit about on the internet about me to be, and I came to know about charity, and all of their efforts are really mesmerizing. Well, I have again got another chance to get to know these people who are actually looking forward for some kind of help, especially for education for their children and all. So I think this is the main thing which attracts me a lot, and I'll definitely want to stick with this, so I could, you know, go ahead and make some more differences and some changes to their life. Well, since the best thing that I feel is that I've learned a lot about about the tribal communities and all, and I feel that they also want people like us to help them, support them in all their needs, because I have spoken to a few children who told me that they want to become, some of them wanted to become doctors, some of them wanted to become police officers and all, but then somewhere inside me I knew that something might pull them back. So you see, this is the thing that I really want to change and let them become what they want to. Definitely, I want to do that. I would like to stick with Me Too since it is doing a great cause for people like these. And if in case if I achieve a lot of success in the same thing, I'll definitely go ahead and try by myself on my own. Well, it's just their career opportunities and all, because these cultures, their mentality, they forces them to not do some things that they want to do actually. So if it is good, then of course they should be like allowed, and they should let free to do what they want. So this is the biggest challenge.
And that is for a child of any part of the caste system.
Any part of the caste system. That's what I said in the beginning, that I want everyone to be treated equally. They're all human beings. We are all human beings. Treat them like you wanted to be treated. Especially the marriage part, because I have seen a lot of people who were not being able to choose their own partners, or even if they have chosen, they have to fall apart. They had to do it because of their family and cultures and caste system and all. So not in the cities and states like Rajasthan and Udaipur, but then if you talk about metro cities, like bigger cities in the capital and other Mumbai, these cities, it's like they have been able to meet that.
Yeah, this is Chef KK. This short name I have cut because of it's a big name is difficult to remember people. Myself, Chef Krishna Kumar Tudawal. Yeah, I am basically from Udaipur, and I have worked in many places of India and outside India also. Almost from last 24 years I am working as a chef. It was actually a very all of a sudden a lucky chance I got. One of my friend who was working here, and he called me up one day that I want to meet you one person, Mr. Lloyd, who is director of the region. So he says, I want to meet you some person, and we meet together, and they were searching for a chef. They says we are searching for a chef who can do this organization about and all, and I that on that time I feel so lucky that I can do this better. I'm going to do this because of many years I work in hotel. For almost 21 years I work in 3 years I'm working at here. But here I got the right place to work. Because of here the people who are coming to India, they are coming to do something for India, something for us. So we love to prepare food for them, we love to serve them, and even it's maybe sometimes it's difficult from hotel, but it's good, although feeling are always very good we are feeling. Because of in hotel people are coming with so many expectations. They are not staying more than 2 days, but here the group are staying for minimum a week. And I love to feed them like a week or more than a week or more than 15 days. A mom only have experience to serve the food, to serve this much of long. And because of the youth and the teams who are all are doing a great job for India. So myself and my team love to prepare food for them. About India, what I'll change first is the education, which is we are lacking a lot in education. Because of if education enters in our village, the people understand where we are lacking, what we are not doing. Because of in India, the people doesn't understand that they are doing a lot wrong things. But if they get education, if they read newspapers, they can come aware, they can aware about that, and they can understand. So education is must there. From almost completing 3.5 years at here, and I was part of the design this kitchen, and it was construction that time. And I was a part of entire menu planning, staffing, and all did, and even I am getting good experience here. Actually, we are always recycling the food, because whatever the leftover food is there, the leftover food we are always recycling in our staff cafeteria, and the people who is throwing the food in the dustbins, which is we are recultivating that food. We are spreading in our farm, and we are recultivating that, and sometimes the clean food we are feeding to our animals also at that. Yeah, because of when we start here, I was having good qualified chefs when we start, but I was hired downline team. The downline team was from nearby villages, nearby farmers where our community works. So I hired that boys, and they were just cleaner. But day by day we give him train to get good job. And now I have entire team is from ready from the villages only. We get ready here. They are doing a great now, and they got a life aim. They got a job, and now they are targeted to life aim that we are doing good place. We are at night place, and we are learning a lot for our career and future. Oh, it's my passion. It's my love. And love can never compromise what I love to prepare. I love to prepare whatever in front of me, and it's all depend who is going to eat this. Because of in India the guest is always God, and if you are going to feed God, then no compromise, nothing. Making the level of spices according to the people, and as I have good experience of around 24 in different hotels, so I knows the which country people what they love to eat. So sometimes I am giving the same food, and sometimes I am modifying the Indian food that way, and I am feeding them to take the experience. Because of in our menu, what we do in breakfast, we are always serving international standard with a choice of Indian, and lunches always international lunches, and in dinner I am always traveling them to India to different food from Indian people, but it based on the level of spices that they love to have. The food is that same, but the spices level I am reducing. I don't think I am going to quit this place. I am going to be long. Because of this is where I am working. This is second largest time I am working in my life. Before this, I worked one place at 5 years, and rest of all place I have never worked for 3.5 years. Yes, I started cooking when I was 8 years old from my mom, and carry forward with the when I was completing 12th education. I did diploma in Food Craft Institute, and then started working in hotels, and toward after that I did MBA in hospitality management, but it was continue working in hotel, and especially in kitchen only, as a chef only. I am finding the menu, the same menu which doesn't require dairy or doesn't require lactose or doesn't require gluten or doesn't require nuts. So I'm selecting the dishes particularly that. So everyone will enjoy. Definitely we will game. Definitely we will game.
I first found out about Me Too, then it was called Free the Children, of course, when I joined Virgin Atlantic, and I've been really pleased to be able to become more and more attached to that organization. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I've been involved over the course of my career, not just with Virgin Atlantic, but in other airlines, in doing good in lots of different ways. And I think the number one thing I got from my first impression with Me Too was just the amazing enthusiasm of the people involved. I have rarely come across anybody more passionate about what they're doing than the Me Too team, and it is so contagious being around them. So Virgin Atlantic was one of the real early UK companies to partner with Free the Children, and kind of encourage that team and be a part of the team in raising money to make We Day possible in this country. So as an early sponsor, and we've been with them for 7 or 8 years now, and have raised, I think, collectively something like £1.2 million. I think we've been quite active. I was on the first committee, the first We Day committee, for example, to kind of make this something that could happen here. I'll start with the company's purpose, which is to embrace the human spirit and let it fly. And we think that purpose kind of has the let it fly, kind of give it a go, edginess to it, but also the embrace the human spirit element is about engaging with our customers, with the communities we serve, and with a wider purpose society in general to try and live up to the Virgin brand ethos. The Virgin company ethos is doing business for good. And in that context, we have programs in a variety of different areas that are all part of our sustainability program. It starts with airplanes, buying airplanes that are more fuel efficient. It's recycling things that we utilize. It's purchasing from responsible sourcing. It's the efforts we've made on next generation's kind of technology for aircraft. We were the first airline to fly a biofuels flight. We're working with a company called LanzaTech, who's invented a technology that converts waste gases from steel manufacturing into ethanol, which can be converted into jet fuel using a biological process. And we're hoping that could be one of the many solutions that could lead to a fossil fuel free or less requirements of fossil fuels in the future. So we have a lot of things that we lump under our Changes in the Air program that are all about our corporate citizenship. So our relationship with Me Too We is both with our people and with our customers, raising money for that organization. And with our people, it's I think something like 40 or 50% of the employees of Virgin Atlantic have done something to raise money for Free the Children. So with our people, it's we call it kind of adventure tourism. Our teams go out and they do things to raise money in the form of adventures, whether they're cycling experiences or mountain climbing or swimming across the English Channel. We've got a lot of energetic people who can utilize their network to do amazing things personally, but raise money for Free the Children. So it's a great for engaging our team in doing good and working with each other. But it's also great that our customers support it. So on board our aircraft, we collect loose change. Basically, we ask customers if they're going from one country to another and they've got change in the currency they'll no longer need, to donate that currency, which we then pass on to Me Too We. And so those are the elements of how we support the organization explicitly. We love the adopted villages. I've been in 3 of them myself. My wife's on her way to Kenya next week to go on a bike ride and visit the villages we have there. And we think it is a great model that Me Too We has come up with and it's not about just continuous giving to villages. It's about making them self-sustaining. You obviously experienced it when you were there, but the efforts in water and health and education and farming, the thing and commerce, the things that we can do in those villages to make it so we won't be needed in those villages, I think is the real powerful thing. But our relationship with c-doh is not really just about that. And I think many great charities do great things in disadvantaged communities, and these are good examples of them in these villages. But the thing that makes c-doh unique, and why Virgin Atlantic is so excited about it, is the way it supports local schools here in the UK, and the way that it empowers and energizes young people to know that they can make a difference. And other charities, which are just about collecting money for good causes, are great. But to collect money for good causes and empower a generation at the same time, unique. This is why we love them. It was already developed when I got here. Okay. So I didn't have anything to do with its creation. I don't know whose idea it was, but I absolutely loved it. The first summer that I was here, I went and joined the scholarship group. I'm sorry I didn't get to do that with your group as well, but so that I could actually see what it was about and what was going on. And of course, we're very committed to continuing this program because of how cool we think it is. I got a chance to visit the villages where the young people were working. I had a chance to hang out with them one evening in kind of the study program and hear some of the things that they were talking about. And if ever you need, or I as an adult, needed a reminder that the world will be in very good hands in the future, it was spending 3 or 4 days hanging out with a bunch of pretty inspiring young people. I think it's really good to see another place through other people's eyes. So I was very struck by some of the comments from the group on what they were getting out of that experience, and being able to come back home and recognize kind of the difference between really having and having not, and how the human condition, the way in which young people are happy and play and enjoy life, has very little to do with the things you have. And I really loved that observation that I saw the group make, and it rang very, very true to me as well. And to me, I think, look, our whole business is about bringing cultures and people closer together. That's what airlines do. And watching a bunch of young British people come and interact with another culture, someplace they hadn't been, someplace that didn't have as much, and seeing how that affected them reminded me of the good that we do carrying people back and forth across the world. So I think it gives us a chance to explicitly give back to future people who can make a real difference, and I really am proud of the organization for doing that. Like I said, it didn't have anything to do with me personally coming up with it, but I'm extremely proud to keep supporting it. You know, it's kind of for other people to assess how much impact we've had or haven't had. I know that the team at Virgin Atlantic, the many employees who've participated in activities associated with me2we, have gained an amazing amount personally from having done so, and it helps bring the company closer together. And so I hope that we're having as big an impact on the places that we are affecting as we are on ourselves, but even just the part that we're getting from ourselves is extremely valuable. So I'm very pleased with the progress that we're making in the villages that we've been active in, and I'm hoping that over time that we can continue to add other locations and other places where we can continue to make a difference. So I don't see a model change explicitly as our goal, but I see sort of continuing the involvement. As villages truly become sustainable, I'd love to go visit them and not actually be doing anything in those villages and just seeing their growth, and that would give us the opportunity to add new villages that we could then make a difference in. I visited the 3 in India, so in the same 3 that you probably visited while you were there in Rajasthan, and I don't remember. I can never remember the names of those villages, but the thing that did strike me was that the people of those villages are so genuine, real, appreciative, and warm that despite the challenging circumstances that they find themselves in, it's a pretty amazing place to be.
Yeah, of course, I experienced it myself being there, that the people in the village, when you're walking past them or arriving at the school, they're always so happy just to see you there helping them, and they obviously have that nice sense of community, even with us being there.
Absolutely. I assume you had the same observation that I've seen every time, which is that kids are kids.
Yeah.
They're
not unhappy because they don't have an iPhone or an Xbox.
Absolutely not. They have people can find ways to play and be happy, and there's this kind of that positive energy that's part of I don't know, being youthful is pretty cool everywhere you go. I think that the thing about the trip that is cool for us is it is so aligned both with our goals to make a difference in the communities, our goals to make a difference for young people over here, and our business, which is making the world a smaller place. And by bringing all of those things together, I think we can both be truly Virgin Atlantic in what we do and do good at the same time. Well, I think they're not just busy work trips. I mean, I think that your team, you did something. You actually did something good while you were there. So I think the actual feeling of accomplishment, of going someplace, working hard as part of a team, getting something done that matters, is, I think, a really positive thing for the kids on the trip. And I was very struck by how that made them feel, and how, I think, positive the energy among that group was, not just because they were visiting a bunch of kids and having a great time with them, but because actually it's a really good experience to do hard work as part of a team and accomplish something that matters. Well, you know, I think as a company of our size, we're kind of a medium-sized company. We have a kind of a focused effort on me-to-we specifically. We support many other local initiatives that our people are passionate about, but those are done on a much smaller scale. The one organization that we are really committed to and really throw our whole weight behind is, in fact, me-to-we. So our goal isn't to get distracted and spend our energy and time trying to solve so many problems that we do a relatively poor job of all of them, but to actually concentrate our energies on one thing that we think can make a difference. And so we don't really have plans to go find more organizations. Like I said, we do support other organizations, but none with the kind of focus and effort like we do this one. So I've had a chance now, including yourself, to talk to probably 40 or 50 of the students we've sent over the 4 years or so that I've been here, to kind of get some of the observations that they have had. And so I could sharing that with those who might consider. I think most who've gone have found this to be the most rewarding personal experience they may have ever had. They've certainly the most rewarding travel experience they've ever had, and enjoyed the interaction with the local people in India, a real new appreciation for kind of what they have, what you have, and what life is like in the UK, and how in many ways we're very privileged to live in a first world country instead of a developing country, and a recognition of, more than anything else, the power of a person, an individual, to do good, to make a difference, to have an impact on the world. And I love that about me-to-we, and I love that about the scholarship trips, that it helps us help a new group of people each year to understand the kind of impact that, as a human being, as an individual human being, you can have on the world. I think it's very easy to get into the day-to-day living, even as a 16-year-old. At that point, it's school, it might be sports, or whatever might even be a job, whatever the things that you're doing, and get very, as adults do, mired in the today, and not ask yourself the big questions of what could I do to actually make an impact on somebody else. And I think my 16-year-old self was your typical kind of not quite ready for that message, that as you get a little bit older, you begin to see. I think the kids who choose to apply for the scholarship trip and who actually go are much wiser than I was at that age. And as I said in one of the earlier questions, it makes me very confident about the future. I would have to say that you kind of have to start with the basics, and so I would start with hunger. I mean, there's so many other things we could tackle, and when you look at these villages that we're helping in the Me to Eat program, the idea of building a sustainable, healthy food and water source as part of the process of becoming a sustainable village feels like that's probably the most basic priority for life. There are many others that I would also like to follow on with, but I would absolutely start there.